had bled all over my guy's thigh. Oh, you poor thing! I just bled through both of the pads. F word! So today I think we will be reading some of the worst period horror stories I have come across yet. I feel like I say that in every single video, but yeah, this last one is really, this last one is really bad. So buckle in. We've missed a few months, ladies. I am sorry about that. I thought because I had my period panties video that we didn't want too many period videos, and like always, if I have not yet featured you in a period horror stories video, feel free to DM me on Instagram or Twitter and start your message off with period horror stories in all caps so I don't miss you. Today's video is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Can you imagine? This is like my drink of choice on my period. Drop down below what you crave. Anyway, before we get into today's stories, make sure you subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. Don't forget to like up the video. It really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. Here we go. Here's our first story. Recent period story. Okay, this ought to be good. I have been on birth control. I don't know why I just froze. That was it. The end. I've been on birth control, and so I haven't had a cycle in 3 years. My BF and I were celebrating Valentine's, and so we guys, I'm a child, okay? I can't talk about sex. And someone pointed that out to me in the past. You're so immature, you can't even say the words. So I'm like, yes, you're right, I can't! We celebrated that in our way after we cuddled / fell asleep. I wake up the next day and I feel something cold under the covers. I get up to use the bathroom, and when I pull the covers off, there was blood all over. But that's not all. We were naked. So when we snuggled, I had bled all over my guy's thigh. I almost just spilled my coke over that. But like, did he notice though? Because I feel like I would have just went and got like a cloth or something and just like, just clean him up before he wakes up. He'll never know. Guys are so like, huh? I feel like it would go a little bit something like this. Scrub the thigh. What are you doing? You pooped yourself? Oh. I kind of wish I didn't care about things like guys do. I feel like guys don't care about anything. Okay, next story. I was 9 years old, and I remember being in the bathroom crying because I could not figure out why. I feel like if I say this word that I'll get flagged. My private part was bleeding. It was the day of my communion, and everyone was over. I was so embarrassed. My mom and my grandma were screaming through the house. Tori got her period. She's a woman. LOL. There was also a time I got it while having sex. Not sure if you can explain that. Why does it feel like whenever we get our first period, our moms have to tell absolutely every person they come across? Yeah, she's telling the cashier at the store. She tells the mailman. Why? I remember when my sister first got her period, she came and told me because she didn't want to tell our mom, and I told our mom, and then my mom acted embarrassing. Damn, I wish I'd had an older sister. What the heck? F word! Ever since the first time I got my period, I've had super heavy ones. I mean, wearing 2 overnight pads at once and changing multiple times a day heavy. So going to school like that was so much fun, obviously. Which leads me right into this story. I was in about 6th grade, I want to say. Social studies class specifically, and we were doing this thing where different stations were set up all around the room, and the teacher split us all into groups of 3 or 4. We went around the room doing different lessons at each station and then swapping to a new one after a while. This is unlocking memories. I had my period at this particular time. My group was sitting on the floor. And then came time for everyone to switch. I got up and almost immediately one of my friends came to whisper to me that I had blood on my butt. I freaked out and I tied my hoodie around my waist. The old faithful move. Well, that wasn't all. I have so much to say about this. I looked and I had also left a big blood stain on the floor, which was carpeted, by the way. And also my chair had some blood on it as well. I raced to the teacher and asked to go to the nurse, panicking even more by now. I know most people have a parent called to bring them new clothes, but for some reason my accident was a little different. Instead, I got to go through the gross lost and found box to find something to wear. I really have a bone to pick with that. If you have a kid have an accident, you're gonna make them go through some old, worn, disgusting, other kids' sweaty old clothes? I can't. The only thing was a pair of those swishy athletic pants that I swear were musty and didn't even remotely match anything else I had on. Wait. Do you mean something like this? And you know those were sweaty, like you just know. They were so loud and obnoxious, they brought more attention to me than I ever wanted that day. I was basically wearing a big neon sign that pointed and said, "Guess who has their period?" and bled through their pants. I never found out exactly what happened to the mess I left behind, but I think that's for the best. Yeah. Also, can I just say, am I the only person that I feel equally as insecure to put a sweatshirt around my waist? That is a huge giveaway. I've done that without even having anything on my pants. We forever associate a hoodie around the waist to, oh, she has her period on her butt. Can we get rid of the stigma? I think I just overthink everything. Next story. So I was in middle school and we had a swimming class. Here we go. We had a swimming class for PE and I got my period that day. Knowing that I had it, I put in my tampon the whole day and didn't change it before swimming. Oh, do you believe in love after love? Oh, I can't open my eyes. Oh, to see without my eyes. What? That's something we never do, girl. My rule of thumb is if you are changing clothes, you're changing locations, something's changing, change yourself. Not your personality. No, change you. Like, what's going on? Change it. You know, if I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and change first. Change of scenery, change of pad, change of tampon. That's the way it goes. I went to PE class and I got in the water, as you do. I knew that my period could stop in the water, or so I thought. Yeah, I recently learned that that myth was debunked. It makes it harder for it to come out just because of the water pressure, but it doesn't completely stop it. I got out of the pool and I went to the locker room. I had no idea there was a trail of blood from where I got out of the pool to the locker room. I just felt like tears fill up my eyes. You know what? I would never go to school again. For personal reasons, I will be dropping out. I was getting a shower and there was a pool of blood in the shower stall. I was mortified. The PE teacher was luckily a girl and chewed me out for not doing anything about it. That's kind of rude. Maybe she was pissed because she had to clean it up. In that case, I kind of understand. That's embarrassing enough. You don't have to be rude about it. I also got a lot of hate from the girls in the locker room. Luckily, they told the next class that a bunch of juice spilled, but they knew it was blood. Oh my gosh. So people were just rude? Wow. That could possibly be the worst story of the day, but we're not done yet. Okay, here we go. Girl, I have a horror story for you. When I was 12 and first started my period, I didn't want to tell anyone. I've been there. See, this was like being the weird middle sibling kinda. I knew my older brother would make fun of me and I knew my younger sisters would make fun of me. I can't tell anyone. So I took a pad out of my sister's room that was way too big for me. I thought that because it was so big, I didn't need to change it very often. I was a dancer at the time, and on a night I had classes, my mom, my sister, and I went shopping. And I didn't bring any extra pads with me. So when I got dropped off at the studio, I was freaking out. Freaking out. TM. This is like giving me like secondhand social anxiety. I've been trying to learn more and more about social anxiety to like better understand and help myself. Oh, you're just afraid of what you think others think about you. And it's like, no, I'm literally afraid of being embarrassed for myself. I've done embarrassing things completely alone and I'll never let myself live it down. I was freaking out when I went to the bathroom to change and my pad was beyond full. So I looked under the sink and there was a box of panty liners. I thought to myself, that's better than nothing. And I put 2 of them on at once. But my question is like side to side or like front to... Then I had to go into class and pray I didn't bleed through. Every time we did a combination across the floor, I would try to discreetly look in the mirror to make sure I didn't have a stain on my booty shorts. Somehow, some way, I didn't bleed through. When we got home, I raced to the only bathroom we had in our house at the time and changed. Wait, whoa! I'm like, okay, she's a dancer. Okay, she doesn't have a pad. This was about to go down the hill, and it didn't. I'm pleasantly shocked. Good for you. Good job! I think you win the trophy of like narrowly avoiding a catastrophe. And here's our last period horror story of the day. Let's see, can she steal the trophy? I got my period in 6th grade and I hated changing my pad in the bathroom because it's so loud. I feel like they have tried to make them softer over the years. When I first got my period, it sounded like tinfoil. Oh my gosh. So I thought that if I wore 2 pads at once, I could just tear one off and have a clean one underneath. In theory, that sounds like it could work. Not breathable at all, but like, I didn't realize how heavy I was in my cycle, so instead I just bled through both of the pads. Everyone told me to go to the nurse, but I was so embarrassed. So at recess, it was raining, so I told my friend to splash a bottle on me. She told her friend to splash a bottle on her. Did I stutter? Did y'all hear that? Maybe the same would splash away. I don't know what I was thinking, because then it was just bloody and wet. I ended up getting in trouble from my teacher for getting all wet at recess and had the option to go to the nurse, but I couldn't move from the chair because I was bleeding onto it. You poor thing! Oh my god! I legitimately want to cry right now. Like, the thought of that. First of all, that sounds so uncomfortable. Like, can you imagine? I have rainwater on me, I have blood on me, I am now in trouble. There was a puddle in my chair. I had to sit there for a few more hours before school ended and waited until everyone left my classroom to leave so I wasn't noticed. On the bus home, I had to sit on my hands so I didn't get blood on the seat. The things that young women go through is just... You are the Period Horror Stories Trophy of the Day winner. You win. That might be one of the worst ones I've ever heard. When you bring in the factor of being in trouble on top of your period, and then on top of that, rainwater. Okay, so that is going to do it for Period Horror Stories today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you like videos like this, I have an entire playlist up here. If you just want to binge some period horror stories, grab some popcorn. Is it 3 a.m.? Can you not sleep? Coming up next on Period Horror Stories, I will be reading 10 mortifying period horror stories you're so glad didn't happen to you. Also, y'all, since my wedding is coming up in just a few months, I was thinking of maybe reading like wedding horror stories. Because, okay, I've been having nightmares. Should I just like torture myself and just pray my wedding goes okay? I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs, love you guys, goodbye.